Dr. Selman, in our conversations, we talk very frequently about the adrenals and their importance, and the fact that it's kind of discouraging that you never find anyone that really has adrenals at the levels that they should be, which hopefully you're going to be able to help them with. Tell us a little bit about that and what people can do, and not whether or not it's something that goes on a long-term basis. We should always be kind of finding out where we are and then going from there.
Well, when I discovered the piece that totally changed my health was when I understood the role of the adrenals and the fact that my insomnia, my night sweats, my arthritis, my mood swings, my weight gain, hormonal imbalances, everything that was going on that was driving me crazy in my life were really going back to a condition of what I call adrenal exhaustion. And it's becoming a more popular topic now. People are understanding the importance of the adrenals. I certainly had to kind of discover it on my own. But the adrenals are so fundamental. They're two little glands, endocrine glands, that sit on top of the kidneys. They're like little party hats that sit on top of the kidneys. And yet they are the most critical endocrine glands for our health and longevity and hormonal balance and blood sugar balance and our ability to sleep. Everything is reliant on those two little glands, which we exhaust through unrelenting stress. So without strong adrenal glands, we're going to age more rapidly, and we're not going to be able to really fight off infections because they help to rule the immune system. And our digestive tract, which 80% of our immune system is in our digestive tract. So here are some suggestions that I have. This is what I had to do to heal my adrenals. And by the way, depending how exhausted your adrenals are, it may take 6 months, it may take a year, it may take longer. But that is the ongoing commitment. In fact, for me, nourishing the adrenal glands is my lifelong commitment, because as we age, we naturally tend to exhaust our adrenal glands. The natural state of aging is to become more and more deficient with this adrenal energy. So we have to pay a lot of attention to providing our adrenals with the proper food and nourishment to keep them strong, or we will run out of energy and we'll just be more susceptible to all sorts of diseases, compromised immune system, hormonal imbalances, and so on and so forth. So here's some tips of what I found. The most important vitamin for the adrenal glands is vitamin C. The adrenals use more vitamin C than any other gland in the body. So we need to be taking daily adequate amounts of vitamin C, at least 4,000 milligrams a day. If you're really adrenally exhausted, it's best to take 2 milligrams 4 times a day, because there's such a demand for vitamin C. And under severe stress, and we're going through times when people are going through a lot of stress, they have to put extra effort at taking care of those adrenal glands because they really are being seriously challenged. So we want to take adequate vitamin C. The other key vitamin for the adrenal glands is called B5. And I recommend taking it in a complex form. So you want to take a really good B complex every day, at least 100 milligrams of a good B complex. Then the adrenal glands require minerals, because minerals actually fuel all of the enzymatic reactions that our vitamins are using. We need minerals as foundational, and they are critical for the adrenal glands. So you need a good mineral, multi-mineral supplement to give those adrenals the minerals they need. There are other herbs and things that have been known to help. They're called adaptogenic herbs. They can, we know them as ashwagandha, as rhodiola rosea, American ginseng. These are adaptogenic herbs, and they support the body's ability to get the kind of energy they need. That can be really useful too. A couple of things that are really important we need to know. First of all, to support adrenals and recovery, you have to monitor what you're eating and how you're eating. You do not want to eat a lot of sugar. See, the adrenals play a role in helping to deal with sugar when there's high amounts of sugar in the body. And when you eat a high sugary meal, a high carb meal, and you dump a lot of sugar in, then all of a sudden the adrenals are called into action to try to get that sugar back into proper balance in the body. Everything's been disrupted. So it's another job a tired adrenal gland has to do. So to support the adrenals, you want to eat small meals throughout the day, and you want to balance your blood sugar level. And the way you do that is you always have protein and healthy fats along with your complex carbs, which should be more in the form of vegetables. So that will slowly release your blood sugar into your system, and it doesn't put a drain and a strain on the adrenals to try to manage blood sugar. So blood sugar management is critical for the support of the adrenals. And the other thing that's critical for the adrenals is getting adequate sleep, because the body, no matter how much nutrition you give the adrenals, if you're not sleeping, if you're not taking time out and resting, the body has a really hard time to recover. So you want to try to get rest. People with adrenal exhaustion often get a surge of energy at night when basically they should be winding down. So when they get that last big surge of energy at 9, 10, 11 o'clock, and that's when everyone's cleaning house on the computers, going to 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, it is a clear symptom, actually, of adrenal dysfunction, because your stress hormones are going up and they should be going down so you can get into deep sleep. So what happens to people when that goes on is they generally wake up about 3 or 4 a.m. with palpitations, their mind is alert, and that's one of the problems of insomnia. It's a symptom of adrenal exhaustion. And very simply, it's because blood sugar levels have dropped, because when the adrenals are exhausted, you've lost the ability to regulate your blood sugar. I recommend people take a little bit of protein, maybe with a little healthy fat, about an hour before you go to bed at night, and that will help to slowly release blood sugar while you're sleeping, rather than have a rapid drop of blood sugar, which is what stimulates the adrenals to make the adrenal hormone that wakes you up. So rest and sleep, and maybe adaptogenic herbs. One of my favorite herbs to support adrenal is maca, M-A-C-A, a Peruvian herb. That's wonderful, nourishing food for the adrenals. And to just come to an appreciation of the role that these little teeny glands play in our health and longevity, and certainly makes a huge difference in supporting women's hormonal balance. Generally, when women have hormonal issues, hot sweats, night sweats, PMS, it's the adrenals are the underlying issue driving this condition. And so that becomes a really important thing to address.
So in your practice and in your books, do you also say to people, you know, these are all the things that can contribute to adrenal problems and adrenal failure, and here are some things that you can do from a supplement standpoint from the time you're 18, if you're a college student with 2 jobs and you're in the chorus, or if you're in a situation where you're 22 with 3 young children, or whatever it might be, that women should be doing something with their supplementation that might help them avoid problems with the adrenals?
Yes, you know, I would love to see the awareness of adrenals expand so we can incorporate it into our foundational program early in life. I really get concerned with all the college kids. They're burning the midnight oil. I mean, they have a lot of vitality and energy. God bless them. But, you know, I tested these college girls. They are adrenally exhausted, and then they can't think. You actually, when you're in high stress, you actually kill short-term memory cells. So now you go, oh, what's the name of that person? You know, you've lost your memory. It's happening to teenagers now under the stress that's going on, environmental stress, psychological stress, emotional stress. So we're seeing these kids at such a disadvantage, and in a sense, accelerating the aging process in teenagers. What's going to happen when they get to be in their 30s and 40s and 50s? We're going to see more chronic illnesses. So I would love to see more knowledge about the adrenals and get the kind of nutritional support that is required, along with some good lifestyle factors to help support and maintain strong adrenal glands throughout entire life. It's just a really critical thing right now.
So you need to be educated through the book, through your practitioner, if they're smart and they're up to. You need to know what to take. You need to know where to get what you need to take, and you need to understand that it can start as early as the young part of your life, but it can be a great contribution or a terrible contribution to what people think of you when you're 60s, 70s, and 80s. It has nothing to do with what they want to do. It has to do with the conditions that's within their system.
Absolutely, and I want to say that pregnant mothers who are under stress are weakening the adrenal glands of their children. So because that's just a really critical point. So we're seeing that children are born of mothers who are under stress, and these kids then have deficient adrenal glands. So they're more, they're more susceptible to infections. They're more finicky, sensitive, the more anxious children. And so the effects and the compromised function of the adrenals can happen in utero, and then of course continue for the rest of one's life. And we actually have the knowledge and resources to turn this around, but most people don't even understand what their symptoms are indicating. The fact that they have anxiety attacks. Anxiety attacks are really common form of what we consider, an emotional condition. But as a psychotherapist, when I dealt with adrenals, when I dealt with anxiety attacks, I didn't understand that part that the adrenals play, but now I do. And now when people come to me with anxiety, it's not so much a psychological, emotional issue, it's a symptom of these exhausted adrenal glands, which we can correct and bring people back to a place of balance and peace again within themselves.
Thank you. I hope this conversation will take some people to places where they can learn more about this, because it certainly is an important part of what goes on in our lives, most of which we turn around and say, well, why do they act that way? Thanks, dear.
Thank you.